Chris Farley was a famous comedian in the 90s, but as many know, he would die in December of 1997. And as of me talking right now, exactly 25 years ago. He started his career by being on SNL, and he would continue doing that throughout his life. But he would also make 4 movies, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to rank each and every one of them from worst to best. Alright, at the bottom of the list is something that I do not think is a controversial pick for putting it this spot. It's Almost Heroes, which was Chris Farley's last film. It was released in '98. They filmed it a bit before, but of course, like I mentioned earlier, he was born in late '97. But they filmed all his stuff, and it came out in '98. It's kind of like Liar Liar, a Jim Carrey movie. The Judge died in '96. The movie didn't come out till '97. It's kind of just one of those weird things, I guess. But I have nothing to say about this movie. It's so boring. And I know this is just my opinion, and this doesn't counter the overall movie, really. But I hate movies that take place in, the past. I don't know, I hate movies that are older than, sometime in the 1900s. I don't know why. They're just so boring to me. I've never found a single one that is actually entertaining. Let me ask you a question. Do you remember anything that happens in this movie? Do you remember this movie at all? Did you actually watch this movie ever in your entire life? Probably not, because it's barely talked about at all. It makes sense. It didn't even do well when it came out. This movie, I just have nothing to say about it. Literally nothing. This is probably going to be the only time I've watched any part of this movie, and I think I'm fine with having nothing to do with this movie. Probably for the rest of my life. I just have nothing to say about it. Chris Farley kind of feels like Chris Farley, I guess. It feels like Chris Farley, but the character doesn't feel true to heart, It doesn't really feel right. And I'm just going to let you know, this is the only movie on this list that I think is just downright bad. Yep, now this is a controversial opinion. Most people say Tommy Boy is Chris Farley's best movie. Now, I don't think so, but I don't think it's a bad movie. Nothing really that much happens in this movie. I feel like they spend sometimes too long on scenes. In this movie, it just feels like nothing happens. I'm sorry, I do think it's a good movie, and I think it's kind of funny. I don't fully think it's funny, and I'd probably like it more when I'm older. And I also feel as like Chris Farley, since this was his first movie, I don't think he's really fully got the Chris Farley mood down. But overall, not that bad of a first movie, and it is the highest rated by critics. And like I said, there are some things that I think are kind of funny, I guess. But I think these next 2 picks are just better movies overall. Yeah, I like this movie more than Tommy Boy. It's a sort of spiritual successor, kind of. They both have Chris Farley and David Spade playing the main characters, and they're pretty similar. But I just think this movie is less boring, and Chris Farley feels more like Chris Farley. I don't know. I think this movie is just overall better than Tommy Boy. I don't know what to say about what's actually in the movie itself. I don't know why. Something in me just knows that this movie is better than Tommy Boy, in my opinion. Yes. Beverly Hills Ninja is my favorite Chris Farley movie, and probably will be for a long time. I said earlier I'd probably like Tommy Boy in the future, where I will probably think the jokes will be more funnier and stuff. But as of right now, and I think forever, Beverly Hills Ninja is my favorite Chris Farley movie. It doesn't take itself seriously, and I kind of love that. It's so crazy and chaotic. It's a really good movie, though. I like all the Japanese stuff. It's hard to describe how much I love this movie, and I probably will talk about it eventually separately. I know some people think this movie is annoying and stuff, and they actually put it as their least favorite Chris Farley movie, but I love this movie. It never stops being fun. It just wants to have a good time. And even though I said it can't take itself seriously at times, you know, it doesn't take itself seriously at all, it can be emotional, and it works. It's more so those scenes in the beginning and stuff. Do me a favor, you watch this movie, or I'm doing you a favor. I don't know how I would phrase that. I'm not good at talking. This movie is amazing, and I love it. It's goofy, chaotic, but it's my favorite Chris Farley movie, and I love it. And so that was my ranking of all the Chris Farley movies. One of them was bad, two of them were okay, I guess, and Beverly Hills Ninja was amazing. Bye. Ohio!